Oftentimes when you see parties around the 1920s, it just looks like a free-for-all. It looks like a fantastic, fun time. So many of us now are, you know, oh my God, I have to do this, or I have to go and do that. This is the way this is supposed to be done. But back then there seemed to be this whole new idea around what was happening in the world, that they were free to do whatever they wanted to.
I think just of leaps and bounds in terms of art and culture, and I think there was maybe a recklessness after those years in the war and a new generation coming of age. So it seems sort of explosive and kind of tragic, and I've often thought it would be an extraordinary time to have been alive.
The era is represented definitely in the story, and yet my job as Gatsby is to show the heart of it.
Are you having a good time?
Gatsby's a difficult character. He's a difficult person because people talk about him. Fitzgerald wrote the first 3 chapters without him in it. He's only talked about, right? And when that happens, there's a mystique or a mysteriousness that's built up around the character, which is exactly what he wanted to have happen. Facade and core truth. So Gatsby represents a facade in the fact that he's not entirely who he seems to be. And yet there's an essential quality about him that is his truth, and that is that he's in love with Daisy. So in order to get her, he has to put on this facade. And the real challenges in rehearsal have been, do I start portraying Jay Gatsby, the facade, or do I start portraying Jay Gatsby, the heart? I chose to go with the heart first and see if I can build that up. And now as we're progressing and getting closer to the show performing, I feel like now I can start to put on a bit of a facade and maintain that heart quality of it.
Nick, the narrator, who goes to the East full of hope to find the new beginning. He's coming of age. He goes to find the future full of hope and excitement and thrill and curiosity and people and people's hearts.
I've never met so many celebrities. Nick, if you want to kiss me anytime during the evening, just let me know and I'll be glad to arrange it for you.
I think he probably wants, at times, to be as hopeful as Gatsby, as Jay Gatsby. I think that a lot of us would like to believe in something as much as Jay Gatsby does. There's something so enticing about that.
What is it about the story that makes it compelling? You know, that's a great question, because I asked that question. When I got the part, I asked people that question all the time. And you know what happened? I got 150 different answers. Nobody could come up with the same answer. I had to come up with my own. And playing Gatsby, of course, I came up with the simple notion that he was in love and he was trying to get back to that place of love. And so I'm trying to tell a love story, essentially.
I think it's also just a really well-told tale, too. There's a couple of really great reversals that you don't see coming. And the central character, the Great Gatsby, I think you come through it and you can't decide what you think of him, whose side you're on. And I think that the beautiful thing that Nick, the narrator, who tells the story too, he has these contradictory statements about how he feels about Gatsby. Gatsby represents everything for which I have an unaffected scorn, and yet there was something gorgeous about him, some heightened sensitivity to the promise of life.
All right, you guys, stand by for the top of this.
The director, Kim Collier, has put a lot of music from the period into it. There are a lot of songs of the day. I think the design that she and the designer Judith have created is spectacular and opulent and even at times excessive. And I think that that's a great reflection of the world, the milieu that the Buchanans and Gatsby and all these people are living in.
You know, when you read the book and you watch the movies and people have their own interpretations around it, I hope in the end that anyone can come back to it and say, ultimately, it's about something that we experience on a day-to-day basis. I think it's why Shakespeare has lived so long, maybe not his histories, but some of his other ones. It's because we can understand an emotional quality that Fitzgerald had put into the book.